emphasize the importance of safety for everyone in the building. Lacrosse balls can leave the playing surface at any time and at high speed. So please stay alert and focused during the game. Concessions open. Barbecue's on. Grab yourself a burger and a drink. Hit the 50-50 table on your way back to your seats. We'll get this started in just a moment. Number 2, Matthew Benedette. Number 3, Sam Wallace. Number 4, Chase Hansen. Number 6, Owen Ecker. Number 8, Kai Hartley. Number 13, Chase Budnick. Number 14, Sam Snyder. Number 17, Spencer Vandenberg. Number 20, Tanner Hayden. 21, Nathan Ma. 22, Liam Lalonde. 32, Alex Tan. 44, Sam Charbonneau. 66, Charlie Quinn. 77, Ben McLargy. Number 88, Ashton Clark. 91, Hudson Karasek. 93, Hendrik Lucas. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome your victorious Shamrocks. Sponsored by Island Jump Solutions, number 0, Matthew Dennis. Number 30, Ryan Horvey. Number 3, Parson Shahi. Sponsored by Napid Projects and Can-Am Projects, number 5, Dylan Anderson. Sponsored by Encore Sport and Fitness, number 6, Carter Quested. Sponsored by Ash Mountain Construction, number 13, Tommy Hoschel. Sponsored by CG Forensics and Cam Trucks, number 14, Dane Kinney. Sponsored by Jenner Chevrolet EV, number 20, Hudson Jenner. Number 24, Oliver Pemberton. Sponsored by Kirby's and 17 Mile Pub, number 26, Jordan Alexander. Sponsored by Teletechnologies, number 36, Landon Lockwood. Sponsored by Airdam Excavating and CCM Construction, number 51, Aiden Rintoul. Sponsored by Finest at Sea, number 55, Nate Sam. Sponsored by Clark Heating and Cooling and Benefield Construction, number 57, Hunter Clark. Sponsored by J&S Hucken and Fortis BC, number 64, Wyatt Pickup. Sponsored by Race Rocks 3D, number 66, Ben Pollock. Sponsored by the McCrackens and Taylor & Co. Heavy Hauling, number 77, Jax Hevenor. Sponsored by Gold Star, number 88, Quinn Sutton. Sponsored by J-Pod Properties, number 91, Quinn Cram. And sponsored by Frontline Reefer Care, number 97, Ronan London. Now, if you're able, please rise and remove your hats. The victorious Shamrocks would like to acknowledge with respect the traditional lands of the Lekwungen people. As guests on the lands of the Songhees and Esquimalt First Nations, we'd like to thank our hosts as we gather today to play the Creators Game. Now please remain standing for the Canadian National Anthem.
Who wants it more is a question often asked in high-stakes moments like these. One team with a chance to hoist a trophy while the other just trying to extend the series to a deciding game number 3. So again, we ask, who wants it more? Welcome into BC Sports TV, ladies and gentlemen. Tino Farah here, your voice for this matinee matchup between the hometown Victoria Shamrocks and the visiting Coquitlam Adanacs. And again, those Adanacs trying to keep their season alive here and force a deciding game number 3, which would go Wednesday from the Palace on Poirier. But for now, they will battle on the road against these Shamrocks, the same team that took them down in a tight-knit affair about 24 hours ago. Let's get you some starting goaltenders here before we get too far, shall we? And we'll start off in the hometown crease. Wearing number 0 is Matthew Dennis. Some regular season stats here for you. Had a perfect record of 6-0, a 5.37 goals against average, and an .859 save percentage. He was stellar yesterday afternoon, and they'll need him to do more of the same. Meanwhile, we'll go down to the away crease. Wearing number 33, it'll be Caden Lee. Spent some time this season in the Junior A rankings with the Burnaby Lakers, now back with his hometown Adanacs squad. And replacing Oliver Collette, who got the start yesterday afternoon. In comes Caden Lee. Again, with some limited numbers this season, as he was in the Junior A rankings for the bulk of the regular season. Caden Lee with a 3-1 record in the Tier 1 league. 6.75 goals against average and a .848 save percentage. After a brief delay, quick conversation between the officials and the coaching staff, we are ready to go here. And with that, the opening face-off of game number 2 of the BC Junior B Tier 1 Finals has gone underway. Shamrocks win the opening draw, and they're going to go right to the net with the first shot of the game and the first save of the game for Caden Lee, shouldering that one into the corner, and Victoria able to retain possession. Here's Hunter Clark, quickly down low to Dylan Anderson, pressured from the outside, gets over top, has some room, takes a jump shot low. That one goes wide, second chance and another save. May need to make a third one, and he does, as the loose ball goes behind the net. Caden Lee gets a piece of Dane Kinney behind the net, but able to battle through the pressure. Had it for a moment, now knocked free, and the Adanacs able to escape the early pressure. Chase Budnick receives that pass over center. He'll dish to Alex Tan and head off for a change. Coquitlam gets their first offensive set of the game underway. Bobbled pass. Cleaned up by Kai Hartley. Now Vandenberg. Flip over to Tan. Takes a slash from Jenner. Ball gets knocked loose. Rintoul applies some pressure himself. 7 to shoot. Benedict with a shot from distance and a kick save by Matthew Dennis sends the ball out of play. So both goaltenders with some early saves. Matthew Dennis with the latest. Now Benedict going to start off in the far side corner. Sends it to the near side. Spencer Vandenberg bobbled it but keeps after it. Drives downhill. Cross crease pass, and Dennis steps across and gets his shoulder up. Quick play now in transition. Tommy Hoschall looked dangerous in that transition position yesterday afternoon. Finds his way into the offensive zone. He might stay and play a shift here. At the very least, rounds the back of the crease off ball. Now Carter Quested takes a shot, looking top right, just missed. Jordan Alexander denied by Caden Lee. Another dunk attempt looking over top of the shoulder, but that one's stopped by the Coquitlam netminder, and the Adanacs just throw it away. Here come the Shamrocks once again. As Jordan Alexander sidesteps his man after the latest Victoria attempt. Heavy screen set by London. Room available. Shot blocked, though, as Jax Hevener had his shot soaked by a Coquitlam defender. Now Lee sends it up the floor. Deflected forward. Hunter Clark denies Tanner Hayden from being able to chase it down, and the Shamrocks are just going to take it right back. 2.5 minutes into the opening frame, still awaiting the game's opening goal. We'll see if it comes on this next possession here as Carter Quested dances around the outside. Caden Lee deflects the pass, doesn't know where it is. Ended up falling into his leg pad. Could have been a little more dangerous, but at the very least gets the whistle, and Charbonneau gets it out of the zone. Early pressure in a dangerous position here from the combination of Lockwood and Anderson. Bounce pass. Not sure if that was supposed to be a pass or a shot, honestly. Matthew Benedict, the latest to touch, though, and that one goes cleanly out of play. So Victoria will take possession right back. Maybe some early nerves here from the Adanacs. Again, trying to keep their season alive in a rematch of last year's league finals. And the Shamrocks trying to hoist that trophy for the second consecutive year. Jordan Alexander in some trouble behind the net. Lalonde closing the gap there. Shot clock down under 10 seconds. Alexander still with it. Wraps his way around the crease. Send that shot just wide. Anderson tries to bat that one towards the goal. Unsuccessful in that attempt. And Coquitlam gets back into the offensive zone now. Ashton Clark leaves for Alex Tan. Hudson Jenner watches on him. They go over to the other side. Owen Eckert from the crease had 3 goals in yesterday's game. A couple of them from that very position. That time the pass was just off the mark, but Eckert applies some pressure on the back check before heading off for a change. Clark with room. Takes a shot, fought off by Lee. Rebound collected by Clark. Fresh 30 now for the Shamrocks. It's Quested. Gets underneath the pressure of Ma. Lockwood had that pass just handcuff him a little bit. Keeps after it near the center line. Shot clock down to about 17 seconds as the captain, Ben Pollock, keeps it alive. Now Kinney, return to Pollock. Shot, a rising subber goes wide off the glass and all the way back down to the Victoria end of the floor. That'll be a back over call. And the Adanacs will get a free clear starting off in the near side corner. 15:41 to play here in the opening frame. Still deadlocked here at 0. Karasek sends it over to Snyder. Former member of that Richmond Roadrunners team. Karasek had the pass returned to him, couldn't take it cleanly, and Jenner takes it away. Absorbs a collision in front of the penalty boxes. Jenner throws a head fake to create some space and then lobs it for Ronan London to chase down. London works his way over to the far side corner, gets underneath, lost the ball in the process of trying to go through. Coquitlam takes it away, and London will apply some pressure here, trying to take possession back, but Liam Lalonde waiting for it near center, leaves for Tan. Tan takes a slash. Anderson working on him. Tan keeps after it, now loses it. Pressure comes once again. Jarred free once again, this time by Tommy Hoschall, but Spencer Vandenberg comes in to collect. Shot clock down to 8. Eckert from the corner through the middle, gets a shot off, and that one got stopped by the Victoria netminder, Matthew Dennis, just getting a piece of it with his glove. Now Sutton. Over center in transition, leaves for Carter Quested. Watched on by Chase Hansen. Quested on his wrong side, takes a shot anyways and puts it off the post. Rebound falls right to Chase Hansen. He's off to the races. London on his back with a great back check from behind. Ronan London took away a sure chance from Chase Hansen. Those are the extra efforts that help earn you a championship. Let's see if his team can reward him for those efforts. Alexander over to the far side. Kinney steps into a shot, and Caden Lee will just fall on top of it. So he takes that one into the logo. Now Sam Charbonneau finds Sam Wallace. So he takes some space, now feeds over to the far side. Benedict down to Eckert in the corner. Eckert head up the whole way, gets the screen from Hartley. Ends up in the point position. Now Hartley steps into one, returns the favor by putting one off the post himself. Benedict gets the loose ball. Karasek, the intended recipient, deflected by Hoschall, who keeps after it, knocks it free, but Benedict took away a lane and took away the ball. Watched on by Jenner. Down to the corner goes Owen Eckert. So we are just about 7 minutes through the opening period here. Now Spencer Vandenberg, one man to beat. Spins back over top, tries the swim, lost the ball in the process, and Hudson Jenner will take it away. Lockdown defense in the early stages from the Shamrocks, providing all sorts of problems right now for this Adanacs offense. Carter Quested leads for Anderson, driving through, gets a shot off and scores! There's the game's opening goal, and it goes to Victoria. Dylan Anderson with a full head of steam drives downhill and reaches glove side past Caden Lee. And just like that, it's 1-0 in game number 2. That certainly injected some extra life into the Shamrocks bench. And now the Adanacs in a position where they need to find a big shift following a goal. So Rintoul getting the helper on that Dylan Anderson marker. Now Chase Budnick leaves one near center, deflects off of Alex Tan, and taken away by Ronan London. He's got Kai Hartley on his back, Budnick on his front, still with it, gets a shot off while spinning through. He was 1-on-3 there for a moment. Now Sam Charbonneau makes a nice move to get away from the forechecker. He's got Carter Quested tying him up, gets away from that pressure. Hartley over to the far side. Snyder just could not reach the pass, and Rintoul will take it away. Rintoul leaves for Quinn Cram. First man in to collect is Landon Lockwood. Led the league in assists and game-winning goals through the regular season, did Landon Lockwood. He feeds Jax Heavener at the far side. Heavener pressured. Throws one to the far side, just wide though. And that'll ricochet off the corner boards and over the center line. Penalty though coming up against the Adanacs, giving us our first power play of the game, and it will go to the Shamrocks. Jenner Chevrolet Buick GMC of Victoria, BC is a proud sponsor of the beautiful game of lacrosse. Are you in the market for an EV, a truck, a grocery getter, or a sports car? Look no further. You can find their inventory online at jennerchev.com. So 31% on the power play through the regular season were the Victoria Shamrocks. I would have some postseason stats for you, but don't quite trust them based on my findings in yesterday's game. So we'll stick with the regular season stats for now. Dylan Anderson keeps it alive. Shot clock down to 22 as they work it around the perimeter. Anderson at the point. Lockwood sends it down to Carter Quested, back up top now. So everybody gets a touch around the outside. Anderson steps into a shot, fought off by Lee, sliding over to his right. Took that into the logo. Handled the rebound well to boot. Now Spencer Vandenberg drives low on Hoschall. Gets away from the check of Wyatt Pickup. Pickup gets a slash. Hoschall comes in to help. Vandenberg falls. Knocking the stick free. Still up for grabs. Vandenberg keeps after it. Somebody's lost a glove. Vandenberg streaking through without a glove. And eventually lost possession. It's a scary sight to see a player keep after the play while losing a glove. He heads off for a change, gets a pat on the back from his coaching staff. 38 seconds remain in the Victoria power play. On the cross-checking call to Charlie Quinn. As they continue to work it around the outside. Now Pollock from the crease, up to Kinney. Anderson with it again, down low. Pollock looks for Quested, gets a shot off, and Lee got a toe on it. So that one almost found the 5-hole. Now deflected pass. Budnick looking for it as Jenner applies some pressure. Eventually the Adanacs able to collect. So Owen Eckert will just eat the rest of this penalty clock. Quinn comes out of the box and will return to 5-on-5 action now over to the far side. Get a shot off, and Dennis shuts the door. Now delayed call coming up against Victoria. Off the power play and on to the penalty kill will go the Shamrocks as Hudson Jenner will head off to the sin bin. Pro Caliber Lacrosse is BC's premier travel and development program, and they have fall registration opening July 1st. Already open. Their year-round programming for boys and girls provides an unmatched environment to develop life skills and achieve personal goals. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the PCL family. Visit ProCaliberLacrosse.com and learn more. So here come the Adanacs with their first power play opportunity of the game. Deflected pass by Nate Sam might have taken away a sure opportunity to Sam Wallace. Instead, the Shamrocks go the other way. As Rintoul runs a little rover here. He circles his way between a couple of defenders. Now Quinn Cram got to be careful of that center line, pressured by Lalonde. Spins away, at least for Quested. Lalonde applies some pressure. In comes Charbonneau to help. They get the shot clock down to the final seconds. Quested will just dump it down to the corner. And the Adanacs will go back to work on the power play, still for another minute and 18 or less. Spencer Vandenberg will come in to collect and run point on the man advantage. He works it around to the near side first. Hand takes some space, created by a screen. Shot kicked aside by Dennis. Rebound falls right to Tommy Hoschall, and he's off to the races. A shorthanded breakaway for Hoschall, puts it off the post and in! Tommy Hoschall doubles up on the lead with a shorthanded marker. Fired that one off the post, off the back of Caden Lee, and over the goal line. Coquitlam still on the power play for another 59 seconds, but all the momentum in favor of the home team. A perfectly placed shot. Puts his team up by 2. With 8:05 remaining here in the first period, and the Adanacs power play now back out onto the floor. Eckert to Snyder, steps into one and answers right back. There's a reason why he led the league in goals with 35 through the regular season, and you just saw it right there. A missile from outside from Sam Snyder to cut the lead down to 1. And what a way to answer back after giving up a shorty just a moment ago. Gets one on the power play. And finally, the Adanacs able to find their first. Now a 2-on-1 as the pass goes over to Benedict, and he scores! Tie game! Back-to-back goals for Coquitlam. 2 goals in less than 10 seconds for the Adanacs. This time it's Matthew Benedict off the beautiful feed, courtesy of Owen Eckert. Sent him in all alone and goes over top of Matthew Dennis. And in the blink of an eye, the game is all tied up 2-2. I think we're in for a good one here, folks, as these teams so evenly matched. And again, if you missed it earlier, a rematch of last year's league finals as well. If the Adanacs are able to force a deciding Game 3, that game would go Wednesday. The pass goes through. Kinney unable to take it cleanly. Nathan Ma bats that free, sends it up the floor. Last year's finals did go the distance as well, all the way to a Game 3 that went down in Coquitlam. So it would be the exact same scenario this time around. Of course, the Adanacs hoping to change the script a little bit this time, though, as they go back to work. Backhanded shot by Vandenberg sent just wide. Dennis sends it up in transition. Now taken away by Quinn Cram. He'll leave near the center line. Dylan Anderson opened the scoring earlier in this period. Now down to 6.5 minutes remaining. Anderson defended well by Henrik Lucas, but he stumbles. Now back to his feet as Anderson goes through the middle, wants the ball back, gets it from the corner. Shot clock down to 5. Toe drag from Cuesta, gets a shot off the mask of Lee. Big rebound falls towards the restraining line, and Victoria gets it again. Fresh 30 for the Shamrocks. Anderson fakes a shot, flips back over to Quested. One hand flip pass to Lockwood, takes a shot, and Lee gets the better of that one with his stick and quickly sends it up. Tanner Hayden leaving for Alex Tan. Coquitlam with a little extra jump in their step here after 2 straight goals. They were down 2-0. And in the blink of an eye, tie the game with 2 quick strikes. Again, about 10 seconds apart. Now Jenner working on Karasek. Forces him into a tough position. That shot goes off of a helmet of a Shamrocks defender and out of play. Lucky break for the Adanacs. So they earn a fresh 30 here and will go back to work. Karasek heads off. Replaced by Vandenberg. He'll immediately go and set a screen, create some space, gets the flip pass, but Jenner knocks it down. No, Hoschall battling for it. Coquitlam keeping after it. Eventually Jenner able to collect and throws a backhand pass. A beautiful one to Parson Shahai. Now Clark in the offensive zone. Ball gets knocked free, taken away by the Coquitlam captain and Nathan Ma. He'll leave near the center line. Sam Wallace driving downhill, has some room, gets the shot off, tries to bounce it between the legs of Matthew Dennis. Victoria netminder stops that one. Now the Shamrocks having some trouble getting over the center line as they lose it in this exact same position as they did a few moments ago. And Coquitlam now will try to take advantage. Another Shamrocks turnover. It's Benedict, steps into a heavy one, absorbed by Dennis. Now he'll calmly send it up to Quinn Sutton. And with no pressure in front of him, this time will get it over the center line. Ben Pollock finds Jordan Alexander, near side corner, watched on by Lalonde. He'll take his space behind the net, a play that worked so well for the Shamrocks in game number 1. Now Anderson gets the shot off, looking 5-hole, and Lee sliding to his left, shuts the door. Lob pass near center, finds Chase Hansen. Gets over with speed, takes a shot, and Dennis shuts the door. As Chase Hansen and Hudson Jenner go at it behind the play. They'll both head off to their respective benches as Victoria gets back into the offensive zone. Questhead pressured early by Chase Budnick. Finds his way behind the net, looking for some room. Finds Jax Hevener. Hevener drives underneath, shoots, a bouncer as his stick might have got caught by a Coquitlam defender just as he released that one. Not the cleanest shot that he would have hoped for. Now down to 3:20 to play in the first period. Budnick sends it over to Tan, then heads off for a change as Tan waits for some reinforcements. First man in is Karasek. No look pass from Eckert, returned over to Tan. 5 to shoot, they'll send it behind the net. Karasek gets a shot off, and Dennis dropping down to his knees shuts the door. Coquitlam taking a play out of the books of the Shamrocks by taking it behind the net and sending a cutter through the middle. Now Clark with an early shot, rings iron as no defender came to him. So he just went right downhill through the alley, but could not beat the goaltender's best friend. Now Anderson, watched on by Charbonneau, gets the pick and roll, fake shot, looking far side down low. Kinney couldn't take it cleanly. Now if the Adanacs hurry, they can get an odd man rush going as they go over center with speed. Tanner Hayden wants the pass, gets it through to him now, gets a shot off and scores! Coquitlam gets their first lead of the game on the road. A rebound goes off the end boards and sends the Adanacs quickly in transition. And they show off their wheels now, cashing in on their 3rd straight goal with just under 2.5 minutes remaining in the first period. What an answer back this has been from the road team. But based on how game number 1 went yesterday, I got to imagine this is going to continue to be a back and forth affair. It was Victoria with the 1-goal lead heading into the first intermission. Coquitlam stormed all the way back thanks to a handful of power play goals. All of that before Victoria made a bit of a comeback on their own and then eventually hung on to the game in the 3rd period. Again, just 2 very evenly matched teams. Eckert from the corner. Watched on by Sam. Now Vandenberg with some room. working on Jenner. Takes a shot into the crest of Dennis, and Vandenberg will get his own loose ball. Skip feed over to the far side. Late man joining is Kai Hartley. Now we have an injured Hudson Jenner down. Some Victoria fans voicing their displeasure here. Didn't quite see what the play was, but Jenner, just based on where he's grabbing at currently, he might have got a pick on the lower back. There was no penalty on the play as the officials come together to discuss briefly, but unless they change their mind, I believe we should still remain 5-on-5 as Jenner did get up under his own power, but is being helped over to the Victoria bench now by a trainer. And again, as always, we will try to provide any updates if possible here as to the status of Hudson Jenner. But it looks like they're going to take him straight down the tunnel here with 1:24 remaining in the first period. So it looks like it will still remain Coquitlam possession here. There's a quick word going down between the near side official, Spencer Vandenberg of the Adanacs, and I believe that's Nate Sam of the Shamrocks. But regardless, it will still be Adanacs possession, and they get a fresh 30 to work with as well. We're back underway. Coquitlam currently leading 3-2 on the road in game number 2. Vandenberg looking top corner, taken away by the shoulder of Matthew Dennis. Fresh 30 again for the Adanacs. Benedict retreats off to the bench, replaced by Sam Snyder. There's another shot by Vandenberg, stopped by Dennis. Rebound goes to the corner. Final minute of action here in the first period. Coquitlam looking to double up on their lead in this final minute. Hartley over to the far side. Eckert takes an early shot, stopped low by Dennis. Loose ball collected by Rintoul. Victoria may want an early shot, but they end up just dumping it down the length of the floor. Caden Lee doesn't want to touch it as he wants the game clock to get down under 30 seconds before they take possession. It does now, and Nathan Ma will collect. Caden Lee heading off to the bench for the extra attacker. 6-on-5, the Adanacs will go. 22 seconds remain in the period. The extra attacker being Kai Hartley. He'll park himself in the middle as Eckert takes a look up at the scoreboard. Hartley dumped down. There's going to be a delayed call here against Victoria. Dumped once again, and the ball got sent the other way. You got to be careful this doesn't go into the empty net. Now with 6.1 seconds remaining in the period, we'll get the interference call going against Hunter Clark. Extreme Threads is your one-stop shop for customized team or company apparel, embroidery, screen printing designs, and sublimated team uniforms. Now offering tents, banners, flags, decals, signs, and more, and you can check them out online, extremethreads.ca. So one final play here, and on the power play for the Adanacs. We are underway. 4 seconds remaining. Spencer Vandenberg, watch from distance, gets a last-second shot off, sends it wide, and we will head to the intermission with the hometown Shamrocks trailing by 1. Don't go too far, though, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back right after these messages for second period action. You're watching Victoria Shamrocks Junior Lacrosse live on BC Sports TV.
Hello and welcome back. It's halftime. More than enough time for you to check out our eShop.
We offer complete sticks, strung heads, unstrung heads, or fully customized sticks with armor mesh.
Stick around for second half action, and thanks for checking out our eShop.
Welcome back inside the Q Center, ladies and gentlemen. Second period action coming right up in just a moment's time. And it is the road team, the visiting Coquitlam Adanacs, currently with a 1-goal advantage. 3-2 they lead through 20 minutes of action, trying to force a deciding game number 3 in these BC Junior B Tier 1 League Finals. Of course, if it does go to that deciding game number 3, that would go Wednesday evening in Coquitlam. Both these teams trying to get one step closer towards a berth to the Founders Cup. Victoria made their way last season by taking down these Adanacs this time last year, trying to do more of the same for a second consecutive year. But they'll need to make a little bit of a comeback here. They looked like the stronger team in the early stages of the first, until the Adanacs started to find their legs. The Adanacs will remain on the power play here after a late penalty to Hunter Clark at the end of the first period. So a chance to double up on their lead here for the Adanacs. There's a lob pass to the middle. Benedict scores! Second goal of the game for Matthew Benedict, and he gives his team a 2-goal lead. Quick work on the power play for the Adanacs. 20 seconds into the frame. And just like that, the lead is up to 2. And just like how Coquitlam needed a response in the first period when Victoria found the 2-goal lead, now it's the Shamrocks in that very same position. Starts with a face-off win as Parson Shahai finds some space, lobs one for Carter Quested. Shahai might stay and play a shift. So now he heads off towards the bench. Dane Kinney. Sidearm feed over to London. Sidearm shot following after, and that goes off the shoulder of Caden Lee. But Chase Hansen grabs the loose ball. He's going to go to the net, working to the crease, but a good stick check by Tommy Hoschall knocks it free. Now Quinn Cram applying some pressure until Karasek comes up with the loose ball. But his pass over to Snyder taken away by Rintoul. Here's Aiden Rintoul. Watched on by Hansen. Goes right back for another defensive shift. Knocks the stick out of the hands of Rintoul, and he's shaken up, grabbing his wrist and heading off to the bench. Dylan Anderson leaves for Quested. Late man joining the play. Shot clock goes under 10 seconds. It's Jax Hevener. Watched on by Budnick. Now Anderson gets through, gets a shot off, and finds iron. So he beat the goaltender, but just could not beat the post. Now Dylan Anderson muscles his way away from some pressure. Now gets the feed back to him once again. Anderson gets underneath. Avoids a check. Delayed call now coming up against Coquitlam as Ben Pollock gets a shot up. Rebound falls to Hevener. Looking for a lane. Works his way through the middle, and Caden Lee shuts the door and grabs the whistle for his team, who will now go short-handed for the next 2 minutes or less. This Victoria power play is brought to you by Jenner Chevrolet Buick and GMC of Victoria. Proud sponsors of the beautiful game of lacrosse and proud sponsors here on BC Sports TV. One of the many wonderful sponsors here that help bring lacrosse to your screens for free. And we thank them, of course, and all of our sponsors who have played a role this summer.
Next penalty to number 4, Chase Hansen. 2 minutes for an illegal cross-check. Time of the penalty.
So the Shamrocks had a power play goal earlier in the first. Can they find more of the same here? They work it around the perimeter early. Dane Kinney looking far side, finds Carter Quested. Return now to Kinney. Backhand feed down low, out of the reach of Ben Pollock. Now Anderson digs for it, finds it. A wrap shot goes off a defender's foot and high out of play. This should still be Victoria possession, and it will be. Dylan Anderson looks a little bit shaken up as well as he stumbled on his shot and gets up limping. Looks like just favoring that left foot. But he'll remain on the floor. Ball sent to him. Lockwood with some room. Back to the point for Anderson. Fake shot. Lockwood receives it. Fought off, though, on the shot by Lee. And the rebound goes over to the sideboards. Quested had it for a moment, but taken away by the Coquitlam captain as Nathan Ma will sprint the floor. Now he'll head off for a change as Charbonneau leaves for Owen Eckert. Eckert runs into a double team, spins away. Gets underneath a Hunter Clark, finds his way into the corner and lobs one near the restraining line for Sam Snyder. Snyder had a goal in the first. He'll head off for a change as Eckert works his way through, gets a shot off, and Dennis shuts the door. And a nice pickup there by Wyatt Pickup. So he leaves for the power play. Kinney leaves for Dylan Anderson. So Anderson back at the point. Ball sent to him. Now near side to Kinney and down low to Pollock. Again, everybody getting a touch here on the power play. Now Kinney, fake shot, pressured. Tries to get around over to the far side. Now Quested with a low shot and scores! Victoria back within one as Carter Quested cuts the lead on the power play. Speaking of league leaders, Carter Quested led the league in points and power play goals through the regular season. 73 points to be exact. And he gets another one here in the playoffs and in the finals. He was all over the score sheet in game number 1 yesterday, and that was a massive goal here to get some momentum back in their favor. And there's a look at Hudson Jenner back out onto the floor, I believe for the first time this period and for the first time since getting that cross-check to the lower back in the first. So he went straight down the tunnel with some help of the trainers, so glad to see he's back out onto the floor. And ready to go to ideally finish this game here. He's back on the bench now as his team goes back to work defensively. Kai Hartley over to the far side. Karasek with a heavy shot, and Matthew Dennis dropping down low to his knees. Then throws a backhanded pass from down low in transition. Dennis still down on one knee. Not sure if he's shaken up or not. The shot from across the floor off the feed from Tommy Hoshaw was just off the mark. Little ricochet all the way back down to the Victoria end of the floor. And Coquitlam will get a free clear. So Alex Tan starts off the possession. So he looks for a target, finds one near side, and Sam Snyder returned over to the righties. Back to Snyder once again. Coquitlam goes righty strong here. Eckert looking for a lane. Comes over top, finds one, shoots, saved by Dennis. Nate Sam has it deflect off of his stick and back into the crease. Matthew Dennis will collect. Lob one to Tommy Hoshaw. Hoshaw thought about going to the net. He'll wait for the rest of the change to be facilitated. Looking for a target, finds one far side. Jordan Alexander, Carter Quested. Fresh off of the latest Victoria goal. Now Jax Heavener over to the far side. Alexander to Quested again. Comes over top, heavy shot, heavy save by Lee. Jordan Alexander gets the rebound. Fresh 34, Victoria. London now with it. Steps into one, saved by Lee again. Charbonneau's got to be careful of the crease there as he swims away from some pressure. Or rather, that was Henrik Lucas, my mistake. Now Eckert. The shot clock down to 12 seconds. Looking far side, finds one in Vandenberg. His shot blocked before it got through. Might have caught a piece of Hudson Jenner. Loose ball still available behind the net. Knocked free, last touching a Coquitlam stick. So Victoria will take possession on their own side of center. Over the line they go. Wyatt Pickup finds Kinney. Looking for the game's tying goal. Kinney over to the lefties. As Dylan Anderson takes it. Circles back, one-hand feed. Lockwood through the middle. Anderson almost had it. One hand on his stick, though, just knocking it down. Coquitlam goes the other way. Dennis shuts the door as he loses it. Now Alexander from behind the net. Carter Quested from the half wall. Drives underneath, looks back, finds a shooting lane, gets it low, but Caden Lee gets a piece of it with his foot. grabs the loose ball and sends it quickly up in transition to a waiting Charlie Quinn. Now over to the far side, looking for the one-timer was Eckert, takes a hit from behind. There's going to be a call now against Nate Sam. He just sent his man falling down into the end boards. And now Coquitlam, who has been successful on the power play, especially in this period, with that early one to give them a 4-2 advantage. Now goes back to work with the extra attacker. Near side feed, Hartley down low, Snyder from the crease. That one deflects off the official and back to Wyatt Pickup. Has a word for the official as he grabs the loose ball. Now finds some room away from the pressure of Owen Eckert. Still on his back. Don't think Wyatt Pickup knew he was there. Able to absorb some of that pressure and find some room near the center line. Pickup lost it. Charbonneau took it away, and Tanner Hayden, who had a goal back in the first as well, sent it back up to the power play. Wallace waits for reinforcements to join. They do now as Alex Tan collects. Pass goes down low. Tan from the shooter position, steps into a shot, bounces. Thought it went off the foot of Hoschel. No, they'll say it bounces cleanly out of play. Coquitlam will just give possession back to the Shamrocks, who remain shorthanded for the next 55 seconds. Pickup watched on by Lucas and Lalonde. Gets underneath, runs into a third defender, spins away from that pressure, sends a backhand feed over to Carter Quested, far side. Quested waiting near his bench. Shot clock down to 5. In comes the double team. He'll start to retreat and just dumps that one down into the corner. So Coquitlam with 30 more seconds remaining on the power play before Nate Sam can return to the action. Vandenberg takes his position now, running point. Alex Tan, fake shot over to Eckert, down low to the crease, and they score on the power play again. This time it's Spencer Vandenberg. Got lost behind the defenders. And just like that, the lead is back up to 2 with 11:14 remaining in the second period. Safe to say that a key for the Shamrocks here going forward has to be staying out of the box. Coquitlam is dialed here in game number 2 with the extra attacker. And they'll look for more now after a face-off win following the goal. Hansen gets away from pickup and sends it over to the far side. Chase Hansen's going to stay and play an O-shift here as he assumes his position near side down low. Ball sent to him. So he switches with Snyder. Far side over to Vandenberg looking for his second, and he finds it. Spencer Vandenberg gets his second in less than a minute. And just like that, the Adanacs, who at one point were down by 2 in this game, have found their largest lead, storming all the way back, now up by 3 with 10:47 to play. Another face-off win for the Shamrocks as Shahai runs into some trouble. Help comes in the form of Landon Lockwood, but that'll be a back overcall, and now Lockwood might be stuck for a defensive shift here. It's Karasek. Sends a cross-floor feed over to Sam Snyder, watched on by Jenner. He'll shoot, looking top left, sent well wide, and the loose ball ricochets out of the reach of Hudson Karasek. So free clear here for the Shamrocks. Lockwood collects from the corner. Just about at the midway point of this period and of this game. London now spins underneath of Lalonde. Works his way through to the middle, looking short side, puts it just wide, though. No, they'll say it caught a piece of the post, and Victoria can get a reset here, assuming they can collect the loose ball. Pollock does exactly that. Feeds over to London. London fakes the drive. Looking for a drop feed. He'll spin away and get the screen from Pollock. Fake pass now over to the far side. Down low for Lockwood. Spins through. Looking for a pass, finds Pollock over top. Puts it just wide though. That'll bounce off the glass. Good hands by Quested to keep a handle on it. Now we'll take a shot. Low save though by Lee as he dropped down and got an elbow out. Now Liam Lalonde fought most of the way up the floor for that loose ball, then sent it over to the far side and deflected by a Victoria defender. Here's Hoschel. Watched on by Benedict. Stick check from Benedict, knocks the ball loose. In comes Dane Kinney to provide some help. Alexander takes the feed in front of his bench. Now Anderson, 12 on the shot clock. Takes his space around the corner, has room over top, flip pass blocked. Now Pollock looking for it, Alexander hunting as well, and eventually taken away. And now Matthew Benedict has a clear-cut breakaway from center. Going it alone, Benedict stopped! Rebound available through the middle, backhand shot fought off by Dennis. Two huge saves from Matthew Dennis as he keeps his team within 3. Stopping Matthew Benedict on a breakaway, and then Chase Budnick shortly thereafter. Now 8.5 remain in the second period. Near side feed to Hartley. Wants to send it back over to the righties. The pass was there, but it deflects off the stick of Tan and into the stick of a Victoria defender. It's Hudson Jenner. Takes a wrap check, keeps after it, and gets over center. An incredible individual effort by Hudson Jenner. And now he'll round the corner far side and head off for a change. Offense of the Shamrocks just getting onto the floor now with 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Lockwood drives, has room, sends it over to Jax Hevener. 3 to shoot now. Quested from distance, saved by the stick of Lee. Now he'll step out of the crease and lob one up the floor. Nathan Ma wasn't expecting it. However, Parson Shahai was. Now a fast break opportunity as he sends it over across the crease and Lee robs him. It's Quinn Sutton got the beautiful feed on top of the crease and just could not beat the Coquitlam goaltender. Now Vandenberg on the hunt for a second period hat trick. So that one deflects off the end boards. Victoria going the other way now. Rounding the corner from behind the net. Hoschel waiting for some help. Pass through the middle, picked off by a defender. 7:04 remaining. Vandenberg was out there for a defensive shift. He'll dish off as Coquitlam goes the other way. Now Snyder over to the far side. Fake shot robbed by Dennis. As physicality picking up here, but Victoria takes possession back. Snyder back to his feet as Nate Sam avoids the pressure. Now from the corner they go. Behind the net. Cross floor feed. Quested runs into a triple team. Retreats away. Finds space. Shot clock under 10 seconds. Now Hunter Clark. A heavy shot. Denied by Caden Lee. Loose ball goes all the way back in front of the Coquitlam bench. Quinn Sutton battling for it as the two number 88s go head to head in Ashton Clark and Quinn Sutton. Now behind the net is a wrestling match going over on the far sideboards. Wyatt Pickup back to his feet. Clark is as well. Coquitlam keeps possession. Looking for the one-timer. That one was just off the mark. Karasek keeps after it, though, with 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Karasek muscling his way through, looking short side, put it off the shoulder of Dennis. And Wyatt Pickup, Quinn Crum will take the loose ball. He'll head off for a change. Alexander avoids the first check. Shot clock down to 15, game clock down to 5:25. Victoria down by 3 as Pollock finds a twister off the shoulder of Lee. Now Lalonde back into the offensive zone. In comes Sam Snyder. Far side feed over to Vandenberg, now down low. Sam Wallace looking for a target. Thought about the shot for a second, instead found Snyder again. Shot from distance, high off of Dennis. Might have caught him just off the bottom of the face mask. Now a nice loose ball by Lockwood. Turns into a 2-on-1. Landon Lockwood shoots and puts it just wide. Rebound falls through to the middle, and a good loose ball by Rintoul keeps it alive. Now Lockwood with another chance. Fought off. Rebound available. Second chance, and they can't put it on net. As Parsons Shahai had the loose ball but just couldn't throw it on target. And now an interference call against Victoria will give possession back to Coquitlam. Frustration starting to show for the Shamrocks. So they just can't buy a goal here in this period and now narrowly avoid a too many men call. Pass goes down low, knocked loose. Hartley over to the far side, back up top. Hansen steps into a shot, looking top left. Rebound falls right to Quinn Cram. He runs into a triple team, however, in some trouble in front of his bench. Trying to find some space. Charbonneau and Hansen close the gap and pin him into the corner. Keeping after, though, an opportunity in the middle and a great save by Lee as Quinn Cram was denied on top of the crease. What a goal that would have been. Somehow the Adanacs come up with possession. It's Nathan Ma with speed. Feed over to the far side, deflected by Jenner. Dennis reaching for it, ends up behind the net, and Jenner will calmly leave it for his goaltender. And up the floor once again come the Shamrocks. Kinney leads for Shahai through the middle. Kinney puts it just wide. And Henrik Lucas will send it up the floor. Here's Liam Lalonde. Lalonde will leave for Eckert. Eckert still with no goals to this point in this game. But if his team can leave victorious here and keep their season alive, I'm sure he'll be perfectly fine with a stat line like that. Now Karasek through the middle. Eckert shot off the post. Where is it? Out the other side. As Matthew Dennis spun back just in case it was rolling towards the goal line. But instead it went out the other side. 2.5 remain in the second period. Coquitlam leading on the road by 3. Anderson retreats to the perimeter, comes over top, gets his hands free, passes the middle. Pollock denied by Caden Lee. What a save by number 33 in gold. Might need to make another one here as Anderson puts it just wide, and Lockwood just cannot get a handle on the loose ball. Anderson does collect it on his own side of center, but last touching a Coquitlam stick. So no back over call, and Victoria gets a reset. Lockwood to Pollock. Fake shot, tucks underneath, falls down for his efforts. Back to his feet now, though. Fakes the drop pass. Now down low to Ronan London. Gets underneath, through the middle, shoots, and a sliding save by Lee, stacking the pads to get the loose ball over to the other side of his crease. And Caden Lee, without a doubt, has been the best player on the floor here for the Adanacs this afternoon. Now Wallace. His pass off the mark, collected by Wyatt. Pickup now with 1:20 remaining in the second period. He'll lob one the length of the floor. Not a great pass. That one goes off the sideboards, and Henrik Lucas takes it away for Coquitlam. Now watched on by Hoschall. Pickup comes in to close the gap as well. Coquitlam able to keep possession. The rest of their offense now will get out onto the floor as we enter the final minute of action here in the second period, live from the Q Center. Swing pass to the far side, now down low to the crease. Through the middle, Wallace just couldn't get a clean look. Hartley does, though. Excuse me, Owen Eckert, that is. His pass or shot goes just wide. And Victoria will take possession with 43.5 seconds to play. Rintoul finds Quested. Rest of the offense working their way onto the floor now. 18 seconds remain on the shot clock. Just under 30 remain in the game. Dane Kinney. Fake shot, now passes underneath. It's Hevener. Watched on by Hansen. Under 10 to shoot now. Hevener still with it. Far side feed. Fake shot by Quested, gets through the middle, gets a shot off, and Lee shuts the door. They can get one more shot here if they can get the loose ball. They do now. 10 seconds remain in the period. They'll call timeout. 6.7 is the official remaining time here on the clock. We'll see if they add any more time or not. But Victoria with a great effort to grab the loose ball following the rebound. And they'll now be able to drop one final play for this second period to try to cut the lead down to 2 heading into the final frame. Get a great look there at the Coquitlam bench. Their coaching staff provides some instruction. One final play here while we pan across to the Adanacs bench as well, who surely have to be thanking Caden Lee for his efforts here, especially in this period. This could be a much different game if not for some of his miraculous saves that we've seen on the road. But nonetheless, his team currently hangs on to a 6-3 lead. And ideally, in their case, they can head into the intermission with that remaining true. So they do put some time back up on the clock. It was 6.4, now it's 8.7. And Ronan London is going to start off possession here. Matthew Dennis on the bench, 6-on-5 in favor of the Shamrocks. And with that, we are back underway. Down to 6 seconds we go. Pollock to London. Behind the net they go. Through the middle, they get the shot off, and they score! What a goal! A play to perfection with 0.6 seconds remaining. Dylan Anderson gets the feed from behind the net and goes 5-hole through Caden Lee. They love that behind the net play. It's something they've used often throughout this series, and you can see why based on that play alone. So much for defense to have to pay attention to, and guys can just get lost through the middle if you are able to find a man through. So 6-4, Coquitlam will lead heading into the final frame. And the Shamrocks need a few more goals if they plan to hoist a trophy by the end of this game and crown themselves league champions for the second straight year. We're going to step aside, though, for the next 10 or so minutes. Don't go too far, ladies and gentlemen. We got a huge third period coming up. You're watching Victoria Shamrocks Junior Lacrosse live on BC Sports TV.
Hello and welcome back. It's halftime. More than enough time for you to check out our eShop.
We offer complete sticks, strong heads, unstrung heads, or fully customized sticks with the armor mesh.
Stick around for second half action, and thanks for checking out our eShop.
Welcome back inside the Q Center, ladies and gentlemen. Just moments away from the start of the third and final frame in this game number 2 of the BC Junior B Tier 1 League Finals between the Victoria Shamrocks and the Coquitlam Adanacs. And it is the home team currently trailing by 2 with 20 minutes remaining. Looking to lift a banner by the end of this one if they are able to complete a comeback. But Matthew Bennett muscling his way through early, gets a shot off, and Matthew Dennis has to make a save immediately. But now Victoria looks for an odd man rush the other way themselves as Hunter Clark muscles his way through and scores! 16 seconds into the period, Hunter Clark cuts the lead down to 1. A chance at one end and a goal at the other after a huge save from Matthew Dennis. Hunter Clark picks up the ball and goes the entire length of the floor and wires one home. That is the start that the Shamrocks needed. And Clark goes right back out there for loose ball duty here on the draw. He'll head back for a defensive shift. Spencer Vandenberg grabs the loose ball. 16 seconds into the period. Unbelievable stuff from Clark. That pass over to Karasek was off the mark. Hudson Jenner sends it up, and now another fast break here, looking for to tie the game, and they do! Quinn Sutton gets another one. Less than a minute into the period, we're all tied up at 6. The start they were looking for to perfection. "43 seconds ago, they were down by 2. All of a sudden, they're all tied up with 2 straight goals. And now the Adanacs on their heels, looking to recapture the lead. Sam Wallace, watched on by Jenner. The rest of the change from the Adanacs starts to facilitate. Wallace with a low shot, stopped by Dennis, and he'll look up again in transition, but won't be able to take the feed as Wyatt Pickup takes an interference call, sending his team back to the penalty kill. Extreme Threads is your one-stop shop for customized team or company apparel, embroidery, screen printing, designs, and sublimated team uniforms. Now offering 10 Spanish flags, decals, signs, and more. And you can check them out online, extremethreads.ca. It's been an eventful third period to start things off, to say the least. And now the Shamrocks try to keep this one tied here short-handed. The Adanacs go to work with the extra attacker, a situation they've been successful in this game. That shot wide, Vandenberg gets the loose ball. 10 on the shot clock. Skip feed over to the far side. Eckert with a shot goes through the legs of Dennis, but out the other side. And with Matthew Bennett unable to take the loose ball off the boards, Dennis able to send it up the floor. Here's Jenner near the center line, waiting for help. First man in is Carter Quested. Now he'll backpedal away after the ball gets returned to him. Dylan Anderson creates some space. Now Quested near the center line. Watched on by Clark. He'll lob that one down to the corner just before the shot clock expires. And the Shamrocks have successfully killed the opening minute of the interference call to Wyatt Pickup. But here come the Adanacs once again, trying to reclaim the 1-goal advantage. Vandenberg to the far side. Eckert to Vandenberg again through the middle. One more pass, maybe one more to the crease. They get it off, and Wallace just couldn't get it into the back of his stick. Dennis has seen enough. He'll come out of his crease to take away that chance. And Hunter Clark, who opened the scoring in this period to get his team back within 1, gets back into the offensive zone. Cross floor feed from Clark. Finds Ronan London. 15 more seconds remaining in the penalty to pick up. Nervously watching on is London. There's a backhand shot. Almost ends up in the back of the stick of Lockwood. Just out of his reach. He'll head off for a change. Back to 5-on-5 we go with Wyatt Pickup coming out of the box. He goes right at Sam Wallace and takes him down to the concrete. And now a wrestling match going as Hudson Karasek has Wyatt Pickup from the back. Surely Karasek is going to get a penalty. I don't believe Pickup should be getting one. There's no call on the huge collision. But Wyatt Pickup with a massive hit on Sam Wallace. And the Shamrocks just continue to set the tone here in the third period. So we'll wait to see what the call here is. The officials come together to discuss. Captains come over and wait for a decision as well. But at the very least, it should be a 2-minute power play for the Shamrocks. So Karasek looks like he's getting the only penalty, which I will say is the right call. Wyatt Pickup just with a clean and massive hit. And then got grabbed from behind, and it will just be a holding call. So no roughing. It'll just be 2 minutes for holding. And this would be a massive goal for the Shamrocks to just cement that momentum in their favor in this third period. 3 straight goals if you go back to the end of the second as well to cut the lead down to 2. Now an opportunity to grab the lead for the first time since early in the second period. Perimeter work here for the Shamrocks. Anderson fakes the shot, sends it behind the net to Pollock. Back to the outside, Quested. Over to the point. Anderson, underhand feed. Pollock with a low shot, saved by Lee. That'll rebound all the way to the outside. Fresh 30 for Victoria. Skip feed down low to the corner. Pollock back to the point. Lockwood with room, takes a shot and a stick save by Lee. Lockwood looking for the loose ball. Trying to grab another reset. Knocked free. Nathan Ma takes it away. He's off to the races. He'll slow things down. Now he'll head off for a change after leaving for 10. Nathan Ma replaced by Kai Hartley, the late man joining. Now Clark to the aforementioned Hartley. Benedict watched on by Rintoul. Jenner comes in to help. A heavy shot swallowed by Matthew Dennis, and he'll quickly send it up as another wrestling match was going on beside the crease. No call on the play as Victoria gets back over center. 35 seconds remain in the penalty to Hudson Karasek. And for now, we'll remain tied. Hard to believe it's only 5 minutes into this period. Feels like we've had a full period worth of events already. Now Kinney through the middle. Lockwood, a low shot sent just wide. Loose ball collected by Budnick. Budnick has room. He'll take the shot and a save by Dennis. That one deflects off of his knee. Now Victoria goes back the other way. Hunter Clark. Karasek out of the box, right onto Clark's back. Almost sends him down. Clark able to escape from that and find Dane Kinney in front of the Coquitlam bench. Clark drives low. Bounce shot goes well wide off the corner boards and into Ronan London's stick. Stumbles, finds his footing, gets a shot off. Where is it? Goes into the back of the stick of Sam Charbonneau. Caden Lee just lost it for a moment. But no worse for wear. Vandenberg back into the frays. We return to 5-on-5 action. Now Snyder. Skip feed to the near side. Return back over to the lefties. Shot saved by Matthew Dennis. Now Quinn Cram pressured. Stumbles into the boards. Finds Rintoul in the middle of the floor. Now Hudson Jenner. He'll dish and head off. Replaced by Alexander. Dane Kinney will be the late man joining. Alexander over to the far side. Pollock with room. Returns it to Quested. Over top. Shot just wide. Alexander, if he could get a loose, or get the rebound, excuse me, had a wide open lane to the net. But rather the shot clock will expire and Coquitlam will get a free clear. 13:21 to play. Championship on the line here for the Shamrocks. Adanacs just trying to live to fight another day, and that day would be Wednesday evening if they are successful. Tan gets a shot off and a glove save by Dennis. Hoschall bodies his way through, lost possession for his efforts. Now pickup. Got to get it over center quickly. He'll just lob that one all the way on target. Lee takes it into his chest and leaves for Charbonneau. Don't think pickup was quite aware that the clock has started on their possession, and it forced him into a tough position. Now there's a shot and a save by Dennis. Pickup and Alex Tan, we're going to head. Now a feed looking for Parson Shahai. Was just out of his reach. Caden Lee will take it away and send it back up the floor. Benedict. Near side to Vandenberg. Gets the screen, comes over top, shot. Just wide. Eventually off the end boards and into the rafters. Here's Hoschall. To his right, Landon Lockwood, then back to the perimeter for Dylan Anderson on hat trick watch here following his late goal in the second period. Lockwood over top, shoots, scores! Victoria finds the lead. They're back up by 1. It's been all Victoria all the time since the start of this third period. Down by 2 to get things going. Now all of a sudden up by 1. And a huge penalty kill in the midst of all of that as well. Just an unbelievable effort here.
Scored by number 36, Landon Lockwood. Assist to number 5, Dylan Anderson. And number 13, Tommy Hoschall. Time of the goal.
Pickup, sprinting over center.
Lockwood from Anderson and Hoschall at 7:59.
To Jordan Alexander. Pickup, heads off for a change. He'll be replaced by Dane Kinney. Now Anderson, over to the aforementioned Kinney, working with Pollock. Kinney gets the shot off, lobs it just wide. That'll ricochet off the sideboards. Alexander keeping after it. A few more seconds to shoot as the shot clock will expire. So he'll have to leave beside the crease and head off to the bench. Coquitlam now trying to tie this game. Something they were successful in doing back in the second period. Now they'll need another big effort. Victoria has stormed onto the floor here in this final frame. Hudson Karasek back to the outside. Eckert over to his right. Hartley comes over top. A low shot saved by Dennis. Loose ball falls to Benedict. He'll chase it down. It's Clark. Bodies Eckert into the glass. Near side feed out of the reach of Wallace, and Dennis will send it up. Now Quinn Cram gets away from the pressure of Karasek. The two number 91s will head off to their respective benches at the same time. It's Quested. Watched on by Henrik Lucas. Lobs one in front of the Coquitlam bench for a streaking Lockwood. Coming off of the game's leading goal currently. London with a low shot and a low save by Lee, dropping down to one knee. Stretch pass up the floor. Aston Clark gets into the action. He'll turn back and find Alex Tan. Hoschall immediately comes in to close the gap on Tan. Rest of the offense for Coquitlam just now getting onto the floor as Eckert wires one just wide. Benedict collects the rebound from distance on his wrong side. Shot blocked by Nate Sam. As that one's gonna sting, he'll get a pat on the back from his teammates and coaching staff now back on the bench as his team gets back into the offensive zone. Under 10 minutes to play here in the final frame. Victoria leading by 1. Behind the net, pass through the middle. They try that play again, but Quested couldn't take the pass cleanly. Now he'll battle for the loose ball, still up for grabs. Knocked loose once again, and Lee will take it from in his crease. Long pass finds Hansen near center. Chase Hansen dishes to Karasek. Now Benedict takes the feed quickly down low to the far side. Hartley To the late man joining, being Owen Eckert. Wallace back over to the lefties. Hartley to Benedict, looking for a shooting lane, watched on by Hoschel. Gets his hands free. In comes the check of pickup. No look pass over to the near side was just off the mark. Wallace again couldn't take it cleanly. So that would have been a great opportunity with Matthew Dennis having to go post to post. But nothing on target for Coquitlam. Quinn Cram looked like he was heading off on the limp towards his bench as well. And he's actually going to, oh, excuse me, that's Hunter Clark going down the tunnel. Or rather, Nate Sam. I was right on the third attempt. Either way, Coquitlam possession, but they're just going to give it right back to Victoria as Jenner takes the loose ball off the end boards, splits a couple of forecheckers and gets back into the offensive zone. Help comes from Lockwood. He'll leave near center. Now back to Lockwood as there's a fallen member of the Adanacs in front of his bench. He's back to his feet and on the bench now as Matthew Benedict was a little shaken up. Cross floor feed, and now Charbonneau is down, and there's going to be just an interference call, it looks like. Sam Charbonneau just now getting back to his feet. So the intensity continues here. A championship on the line for the Shamrocks and the season on the line for Coquitlam. Hartley skips one to the near side. Tan had a man going through the middle. Instead sends it over to the far side. His pass was deflected. Quinn Cram takes it away. Tan pressuring him the whole way. Cram switches hands, finds Aiden Rintoul over the center line as the game clock goes down to 7:45. Here's Alexander. Sidestepping his way into the corner. Shot clock under 10 seconds. Alexander through the middle, off ball as Ronan London looking for a shooting lane. Finds one, puts it just wide of the net. And they'll say it went off the foot of Lee, so they get a reset actually as Quested now takes some space. And a fresh 30 to work with. Back to the perimeter. As again, there's a fallen Adanac down on the floor. Pollock steps into a shot and scores! And the Adanacs are furious with no call on the play. Nathan Ma, I believe, is the fallen player as he's just now starting to get back to his knees. Looked like it was a heavy screen set. He gets some help from his teammates and will head off onto the bench. But the Adanacs coaching staff is furious with the officials right now. They find themselves down by 2. Discussion now going on in front of the Adanacs bench. And important for Coquitlam to remember here that there's still 7 minutes remaining in this game and they're only down by 2. They were in a similar position to this at a point yesterday. They were able to climb back. Ultimately, Victoria taking the victory there. But they found themselves in these positions where they've needed to chip away and they've been successful at doing so. Now they got to remember to not let the emotions get the better of them in this game with their season on the line. But the momentum just continues to roll in favor of Victoria all the way through this third period. Now Wallace through the middle, a sidearm bouncer fought off by Dennis. He'll grab the loose ball as Jenner streaks the other way, gets the pass, and he's got a lane to the net. Hudson Jenner saved by Lee. Now pickup came in looking for another huge hit. Clark got his head up at the last minute. Now Coquitlam goes to work as Eckert, watched on by Rintoul. Near side feed, Vandenberg just misses. That one was looking far side. They'll say it went off of a Victoria stick last, so maybe a lucky break there for Coquitlam with just under 6.5 remaining in the third. They'll get a reset. Karasek down low. Back over to the far side. Kai Hartley spinning through, gets a shot off and a low save by Dennis. Another reset here in favor of Coquitlam. Snyder to the near side. Karasek down low. Vandenberg takes the feed. Watched on by Jenner. He shoots and again just puts it wide. Now Hartley muscling his way through. Stuffs one on target, but Dennis squeezing that post denies that latest chance. Victoria throws possession away all the way down the floor. Hansen takes it right back for Coquitlam. He'll leave near center. Alex Tan right back to Hudson Karasek. Eckert, the late man, joining. Snyder to Karasek, down low. Alex Tan looking for a target. 10 to shoot. Tan, fake shot, over top, low shot, low save by Matthew Dennis as he just squeezes that one between his legs. And here's Rintoul clearing the defensive zone. He'll take it down low himself, now back to the outside for Quested. Rintoul will head off for a change. Galloping his way back out onto the bench. Here's Ronan London. Spins underneath the check of the line, works through the middle, and he scores! It's a 3-goal lead late for Victoria. The Shamrocks can smell the blood. And then Chase Hansen takes a penalty after the goal. See, it takes a misconduct, it looks like. And all of a sudden, Victoria, 4 minutes and 45 seconds away from a second consecutive league championship. But Coquitlam certainly not going to go away. Down by 3 with about 4.5 to go. Here's Aston Clark into the offensive zone. Skip feed over to the far side. One more chance from Clark, just going over the net. Now a delayed call. They get a shot off, and Dennis shuts the door. What a save by Matthew Dennis as he falls backwards and keeps that one off the goal line. So Victoria was getting the original penalty, but it does look like Aston Clark got one as well. A holding call to Clark and a slash to Anderson. So this should be 4-on-4 lacrosse, if I'm not mistaken here, with 4:20 to play. Honestly, a little hard to tell because there's currently 8 Shamrocks on the floor. So they'll say those are offsetting calls, and they'll just remain 5-on-5. I kind of think 4-on-4 would have favored Coquitlam there, to be honest. But regardless, they'll get a chance again to try to cut the lead here. Now down to 4:15 to play in the third period. Adanacs trailing by 3. Wallace skips one to Benedict, shoots, deflected. That'll go out of play. No, they'll slip cleanly out of play. So Victoria takes possession back. Quinn Sutton had a massive goal for his team early this period, loses possession. Alex Tan slashed the ball loose, takes it away himself and gets back into the offensive zone. Game clock now under 4 minutes. Tan to the perimeter for Karasek, quickly down low. Caden Lee gonna remain in his net. As Vandenberg takes a shot again, looking far side, rebound available, a rising subber sent well wide by Tan, and Rintoul is going to try to chase down the rebound. That'll be a back over call going against Coquitlam. That one went clean off the end boards and back into their defensive zone. Now down to 3.5 minutes to play. A goal here for Victoria could seal a championship if it's not already. but the Adanacs need a huge stop if they want to keep their hopes and their season alive. Here's London to Quested near side, return feed to Lockwood to his right. Lockwood through the middle, can't get a shot off a check from behind. London keeps after it. Shot clock goes down to 5. Sharp angle shot was from behind the goal line, so no registered shot on goal there. And Coquitlam escapes the zone. Here's Vandenberg. Had a huge goal in game number 3 of the semifinals against the Delta Islanders to send his team to this position. Does he have some more magic in his stick? He'll watch on from the bench for the time being as Wyatt Pickup takes the feed over center. Just over 2.5 to play. Carter Quested pressured by Nathan Moss, so good to see he's back out on the floor after being shaken up a few moments ago. He avoids an unintentional screen set by the officials. Jordan Alexander takes the feed, swims over top of Charbonneau, a twister on target, looking 5-hole past Lee, but unable to beat the goaltender. Here come the Adanacs, 2:10 to play. Alex Tan back into the offensive zone. He'll wait for help as Caden Lee gets onto the bench. 6-on-5 now for Coquitlam with the empty net. Vandenberg over to the far side. He gets the pass off, and Dennis stepping over to his left denies him. He's going to go for the empty net, lobbing it towards the goal, but it goes just wide. Benedict collects. Got to work with pace here as the game clock goes down to 1:45. Eckert collects. Sam Wallace parked in the middle. Eckert and Vandenberg play pass along the outside. Now Eckert takes some space, a stick save by Dennis. Rebound goes through the middle. Eckert gets it, another save by Dennis. Third chance available here as the loose ball falls through the middle. Batted away from pressure, and Benedict collects. 1:20 to play. Benedict avoids the check, steps into a shot and puts it just wide. Second chance, and the shot was blocked by Clark. Backhand feed over the center line, chased down. Parsons Shahai towards the empty net, blocked by Benedict. 1 minute to play. Adanacs trail by 3. Pass was off the mark, circles the net, and Matthew Dennis takes it himself. Still got the empty net to shoot for if he wants. Instead, he'll lob it towards Quinn Cram as that one ends up behind the net. Kinney takes a huge hit from behind, and that's going to be a penalty here as Kinney gets back to his feet. Nate Sam comes in to have some words with the Adanacs defender, and if the game wasn't already sealed, that certainly will do it. 41 seconds remain, and Coquitlam will head back to the penalty box. Nate Sam is going to join the likes of Charlie Quinn in the penalty box as well as they continue to jog back and forth between the benches. But the Victoria Shamrocks are just 41.6 seconds away from another league championship and being one step closer to another berth in the Founders Cup. Heartbreak right now on the Coquitlam bench. Such a hard-fought season for them. And to Victoria's credit, in the early stages, seemed like a little bit of up and down lacrosse until they finally found their footing and just rolled their way through the rest of the season. Had a tough series early against Nanaimo, a series which saw them down by 1 after dropping game number 1. They had to win game 2 to keep their season alive. They did exactly that and closed it out in game 3. Then took down the Poco Saints, a team that looked like a powerhouse through the regular season, and the Shamrocks took them down in a sweep of 2-0. And they will do exactly that once again on home floor. They hoisted the trophy on the road last year. This time they'll get to do it in front of friends and family from the Q Center, as they will have one more series to play against the league winners from the interior. but they will leave here this afternoon champions of the BC Junior B Tier 1 League for the second straight year. Your Victoria Shamrocks are victorious once again.
They will be heading to Hamilton, Ontario at the end of August to compete in the Founders Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the fantastic competition from the Coquitlam Adanacs.
The trophy now about to make its way onto the floor, currently in between the penalty boxes as the teams get together ahead of the handshake. And you get a great look there at the Coquitlam Adanacs. What an effort, especially in the second period of this game. They were down at the start of the second period. They climbed back and took the lead. But a late surge from Victoria, starting off right at the end of the second period. Remember that goal with 0.6 seconds remaining in the frame. Brought them back within 2. And then they just took over in the third period and never looked back. So I'm going to step aside at the very least for my voice. I'll mute myself so you guys can just watch on for a quick trophy hoisting. So I'll say our exits now. But to the Victoria Shamrocks organization, to the Jenner family who played such a big part in helping to bring us at BC Sports TV over to the island all summer long for these games, both Junior A and Junior B. Thank you to everybody who was involved. Thank you to Keith Gagne as well. Thank you to cameraman Nolan manning the fort here throughout the regular season and these playoffs. But for now, we will step aside. Of course, we're going to stay on for the championship trophy hoisting as well. But for now, and for the entire cast of characters up here in the booth, for cameraman Nolan, I've been Tino Farah, we've been BC Sports TV, and we will see you next time.
You missed an important step. We've got Dave Wilkie from the Senior Directorate on the floor to present the Shamrocks with the League Championship Trophy. We can please have the captain step forward. One more time for your league champion Shamrocks.